Hi, and welcome to this week's episode, which is all about creating content that creates clients. Hi, my name is Kelly O'Brien, and I'm an online marketing and social media coach, and I help you move your most aligned clients from discovering who you are online through to investing with you. And today I want to go through 6 simple steps you can take to ensure that the content that you're creating is actually generating clients for you, because if we're just creating content for the sake of it, then of course there's no purpose and there's no intent behind that. So that's what I want to share with you today. I'm going to share my screen so that you can have a little look at some steps that you can be taking, 6 steps that I want you to take the next time that you create a piece of content. Let's flick over to my slide. Okay, as I said, there are 6 different steps that I want you to think about as you create your next piece of content. And the first thing that we need to be looking at is actually what's your paid offer? What is it that you're leading people to? Now, if you have a value ladder that has a few different products, programs, or services within it, we're looking at the end goal, the big thing that you're eventually leading people to. Keep that in mind as you're going through and creating this. This is what we're doing, is creating a piece of content that leads to that thing that we're trying to sell. Now, our next step is to determine your goal. What do you want this piece of content to actually do that's going to lead people to that paid offer? Now, it can either be attracting email subscribers, so you create a blog post that tries to build your email list. You can create a piece of content that acquires discovery call bookings, if it is about getting people on a call. Another option there, so this is how do you actually capture somebody's time. So another option there, if it's not acquiring discovery call bookings, then it's getting them onto a webinar, for example. So the whole goal of that particular goal, the goal of that goal is to ensure that you're having some face-to-face time with the person that you most want to lead into the thing that you're trying to eventually sell them, so the paid offer. The next one is to sell a low dollar offer. So if you look at your value ladder and if you do have a few different items, what's the first item? You can actually sell that through a blog post if it's not too expensive. And then the last one is to increase offer awareness. Now, if you've noticed here, I'm not sending anyone to say buy my $3,000 package. We're not going straight there because it's really hard to do that with a piece of content. So instead, we either get them on our email list, so we can then invite them via email to our paid offer, or we get them on a discovery call or a webinar so that we can share more about this actual paid offer that we have, this bigger service, so we can explain it better. We either sell we can sell a low dollar offer that gets them to make one investment. And what statistics show is that after someone makes one purchase, they're more likely to then make a second purchase. And the last one, increase offer awareness. So again, as I said at the beginning, we're not trying to sell our offer here, particularly if it is a coaching or a service that your big paid offer is. It's really hard to sell that, but we can at least let people know about it. So for example, my mastermind, the online marketing mastermind, starts again in September. So for me, doing blog posts that talk about the mastermind is a great way for me to increase the offer awareness on the mastermind. So think about, what is the goal that you most want to achieve? The next one is writing your call to action. Now, this obviously matches with determining your goal. So do you want them, if it's an email subscribers, then you want them to either download something or access something. If you're doing discovery call bookings or you're doing webinars, then it's going to be attend or book call, for example. And then low dollar offer is, of course, buy. And increase offer awareness is learn more about. So what is the call to action wording? We want to use action orientated words. We don't just want to use something that's a bit more passive. We want to get them to actually take an action. So use an action word there. Now in step 4, we're choosing the topic. Now if you watch my last video, which is all about splintering, Then this particular one is about then matching the topic. So if you've decided that there's a particular element of your signature system that you most want to focus on, then I'd get you to drill down even further and ask a couple of questions to see what the specific topic is that you're going to be writing about. So some questions to ask is, my ideal client's current belief system is. What does your ideal client currently believe that you need to overcome that belief? You need to change their belief system so that they I guess can see things from a different perspective that then opens them up to being more likely to want to pay for your paid offer. So they might currently believe an industry belief, or it might be an internal belief. It might even be an external belief, factors that are out of their control or they feel are out of their control that you need to overcome. The next one is, my ideal client is Googling. What are they actually putting into Google? These are great topics for you to be able to create content. We're not going to go into it very deeply today, but just to touch on it is to think about where they are in the buying cycle. Are they still in the awareness phase? Are they now researching and actually looking, comparing, looking at what the best options are? Or are they in the buying phase where they're comparing you to someone else? So if they are, depending on where they are in those particular segments, what are they Googling in relation to that stage of the buying cycle that they're in? My ideal client is being kept awake at night about. What is their pain point? What is the thing that is, they're really struggling with right now that your paid offer can actually help solve? And sometimes with this, when we're looking at splintering topics, it can be just a smaller pain that they have within the bigger issue. And you can watch that video that I spoke about that I did last week that can help you with that. My ideal client aspires to one day. So on one side we have the pain, on the other side we have the aspiration. So sometimes our ideal client doesn't actually have a pain, they just have a goal or an aspiration that they most want to reach, and we can help them with that. So think about what the topic is for you, what makes the most sense to start diving into, that's going to then have a call to action and a goal that then leads to our paid offer. And next on the list, number 5, is choosing your stories. Now, I have 4 story types, and I'm going to do another video on what these are, but just very quickly, we can have allegiance, which is our values, and our why. What are the things that your ideal client believes and that you believe in? Achievements, which is really looking at some success stories to show that proof that you can achieve, you can actually achieve a result for them. Adversity is overcoming challenges or something that's happened in your life, a traumatic experience that's happened that has some great lessons that your ideal client will identify with. And the last one is adjustment, which is those transitions in life. Sometimes when we get to a particular point in our life, so for example, me going from doing PR, realizing that wasn't my passion, and finally my transition into doing online marketing and social media. I have stories around that particular transition that I share through my marketing and through blog posts as well when I really need to highlight something. So with your story, your entire blog post might be wrapped in this one story, or you might find there's a couple of different stories that you need to tell at different points in the piece of content, whether it is a video, a blog post, a social media post. You might find that there's a couple of stories that you can actually be telling. As I said, I'll go into those story types a little more later, or you can actually download, attached to this video, you can download my storytelling map, which actually goes through all 4 of them in there that you can start. There's even a prompt for each of them to get you started and get your storytelling going. And then the last one is to choose your keyword. Now, if we want to be able to not just get those who are already on our email list or those who are already in our social media, on our social media platforms, but if we want to be able to get some Google traffic, and this is something that's worked particularly well for my business, is ensuring that you use really strategic keywords within your blog post so that you attract the right people to this post and so that you automatically attract them years into the future. And I have a lot of blog posts on my website that still get traffic from way back in 2011 I still get traffic from those particular keywords. So if you want to dive a little bit deeper into each of these elements, or how you can actually be putting together a calendar of content that's going to be able to generate clients for you, then I've also got a link here for you to schedule a time for us to have a chat about where you're at, where you'd most like to be, and how I might be able to help you get there through creating content that is purposeful or intentional, and also ensuring that you have a pathway beyond that piece of content that ensures that you are converting people into clients. So as you can see there, I'm just going to stop sharing and go back to the video. As you can see there, there's 6 very simple steps that you can be using to ensure that you attract the right people to your website and then actually convert them, start them on the pathway to becoming a client. So we want to make sure that everything that we put together on our website actually is leading somewhere. So again, those steps were remembering what your product is, or the end goal that you have. What is the goal of this particular piece of content, the specific action you want people to take? And then of course, matching with that, number 3 is the call to action content, or the call to action copy that gets them to take action. Number 4 was choosing the topic, making sure that you have a topic that is where their mindset and where they are at the moment, making sure that the content is based around that. The next one was choosing your stories, so making sure that you've got some stories in there that brings the heart, that ensures that you're attracting the right type of people to you, and that allows them to see the big picture. Because one of the great things about storytelling is that it allows you to paint mental pictures in the minds of your ideal client, so they can actually see what it might be like to work with you or solve that problem, whatever it happens to be for you that this piece of content is trying to achieve. And then our final one is to look at the SEO, look at the search engine optimization keyword that you're using through this piece of content. So whether it's a YouTube video, a blog post on your website, anything that you're creating, or a podcast even, that you're using keywords around that piece of content, so that you can ensure that even if it is small amounts of traffic, but you're at least attracting automated traffic well into the future, so this piece of content repays you forever, which is a really nice place to be. Again, if you do need some help with this, there is a link on the screen that you can go to be able to book a time for us to chat to see whether or not I can help you achieve your goals in attracting more of your ideal client to your business consistently and predictably. So thanks again for listening, and I'll see you again next week.